right now on Fox 5 News at 10.
IK went up to him. I guess some words were exchanged, and he fired off a punch, and he dropped it.
All right, that's the Jets coach tonight describing the locker room sucker punch that left quarterback Geno Smith with a broken jaw. That injury will force the quarterback to be sidelined for the next 6 to 10 weeks, possibly more.
Woo. And tonight we're learning what may have led to the locker room dust-up. Matt King here. And, Matt, it seems that it may have been money at the root of this.
Yeah, technically it does sound like IK punched Geno because Geno owed him money. But both of these guys make too much money for this to only be about $600. It seems likely there's more to this situation. We'll have to wait to learn.
I gave them my word that I wouldn't say anything, so I'll go from there.
In two different news conferences Tuesday, Jets head coach Todd Bowles refused to disclose why one of his backup middle linebackers sucker punched his starting quarterback. Other players on the roster echoed their coach.
We're going to keep it in-house and not give you any information on it.
I'm not going to get into that either.
But someone familiar with the situation apparently did get into it, telling ESPN, TMZ, and others IK and Collie broke Geno Smith's jaw because the signal caller owed him $600 for a plane ticket Geno never used.
I didn't say he was innocent. I just said the whole thing was childish. You know, it was tit for tat, he say, she say, and from high school stuff that they could have handled better than they handled it.
IK apparently bought his QB said ticket to fly to the linebackers football camp. Geno canceled that trip when a family friend died in a motorcycle accident.
It had to be something brewing there because you just don't walk up to a person and punch them in the face.
I don't want to say a beef. It was just miscommunication, I think, between the two of trying to agree on a certain matter that they, both of them had at the time.
Bowles learned of the sucker punch mid-morning, interviewed all those present, spoke individually to both Geno and IK.
There's too many expletives to come out and say right here in public.
And then dismissed IK from the team.
Once he calmed down, he's very remorseful.
In a statement, IK wrote, "I deeply regret and apologize for my actions. It was never my intention to harm anyone. I appreciate the opportunity I had with the Jets." Geno posted a picture of himself to Instagram with the caption, "I'll be back."
I hold both of them responsible.
Coach Bowles also said that Geno and any other player on his team could lose their job to injury. So if Ryan Fitzpatrick or whomever performs in Geno's absence, Geno could return from his busted jaw to a backup role. Steve, Derry?
Pretty incredible.
Thank you, Mac. And for who's to blame for what's happened in the Jets locker room today? Well, a lot of people are saying it reflects a lack of leadership among the Jets.
Some critics even putting the blame on Geno himself, like ESPN analyst Chris Carter, who said it's a lack of leadership on Geno Smith's part, and a lot of fans agree. Here's this tweet: "Stupidity all around. Smith should be released too, regardless of whether or not he was the instigator. No leadership."
And then there's this one from Chris Carter: "Isn't entirely wrong for Geno Smith to get into a locker room fight that sixth graders could have solved isn't showing great leadership." Dan Bowens with more on how this incident may have impacted the team.
Some might say what happened to Geno Smith is just the same old New York Jets, a team that can't stop making negative headlines for the back page of the newspapers. But others say what's happened is much deeper.
Basically, it comes down to respect. I don't think he's respected by his teammates.
Inside the Blarney Stone Sports Bar in Midtown, the answer for many fans is simple. Geno Smith was sucker punched because he is not a very good leader.
There's no respect. He doesn't have that many respect with the previous years that he's shown, and he's given the good talk. He just haven't shown up.
I think it comes down to, I would say, character, you know, because if you look at it, it doesn't look like he's leading the team.
ESPN radio host Don LaGreca striking a similar tone.
I just know that you don't lay your hand on a teammate unless it's something very, very serious. And to punch out your quarterback means it must imply that something very serious is going on.
In situations like this, when someone punches someone else in a locker room with bystanders watching, why aren't other people involved in this?
Dr. Leah Lagos is a clinical and sports psychologist. She thinks the quarterback's struggles in stature with his teammates may also have played a role in others not doing more to stop this from happening.
Emotional support from the team, people kind of buffering him and saying, hey, stand back, don't act this way to someone who's so important to our team.
The QB, after all, is often the most important and most talked about member of any team, and some have sympathy.
He's got to make money, man. Everybody's got to make money, and it's terrible that he has a broken jaw right now.
New head coach Todd Bowles says there is a way to lead this team out of this dilemma.
You take lessons and you learn from them. You have some guys do some things that are warranted. You have some guys do some things that are unwarranted, but that doesn't change the culture we're going to create and trying to create, and that we keep working on.
Keep working without Geno for the weeks ahead. Dan Bowens, Fox 5 News.